What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. We are going to be talking about my favorite dewy foundation right now. I got this idea from communicating with my friends in the beauty community on Instagram, and I'm constantly recommending this foundation, so it just gave me the idea to do a video about it and do a little demo and show you guys how it performs on my very dry skin. The foundation I'm talking about is Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. It has an SPF in it, and I wear the shade Warm Beige L4. It's just a really pretty, very dewy, in my opinion, almost borderlining greasy. I don't want to say that, but for like my preference, I do have to set and powder with this, or I feel like I have to. So it's very dewy. For those of you that like dewy foundations and dewy skin, I really recommend this product, and most things from Flower Beauty are really amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this base that I'm wearing right now. The eyes will be in an upcoming video next week. You will see this look with a palette I'm really excited to feature, as well as a couple other looks, so stay tuned for that. But today, let's go ahead and get into the foundation. Okay, I'm going to start by prepping my skin with another Flower Beauty product. This is the CBD Chill Out Skin Serum. It's just one of two moisturizers that I like to use. That's basically what I do as a primer before foundation, is I always just, I do a toner and I moisturize. So I already did the toner that I use. I'm just doing a small amount like that. I also want to show you my favorite types of brushes. I typically do just my fingers or brushes. Usually it's like this kabuki style. This one is very affordable. It's from e.l.f. and it's actually their powder brush, but it's kind of dense but still has some fluff to it, so it is really nice for buffing foundation into the skin if you're not looking for an immediate full coverage or already have a very full coverage foundation. If you are wanting that effect more quickly, then something more dense like this, and I just got this in like a cute like little unicorn set. It was a gift, but it's a very nice brush, but it's very dense, it's flat, and it's slightly tapered. And then this I got from Juvia's place, and it is just basically the same thing but enormous, and I really like this guy too, and I just want to do some quick coverage. So it's a very beautiful brush. It's nice and heavy. Those are the types of brushes I like. I'm going to show you two application techniques today with this foundation, and one of them I picked up from Hung Van Gogh. He's here on YouTube, and he's a makeup artist, I think for Selena Gomez and many others, and his videos are really great, and I just really enjoy watching him do base techniques especially. But I picked this tip up from him where you actually apply foundation with more of a fluffy brush to get like a lighter, gentler coverage, or so you can slowly build up in the areas you need. I'm going to do initially, I'm going to apply in this manner for you guys so you can just see the difference, and then after that I will use one of the flat, more traditional brushes and just shellac it on. So this isn't a super heavy coverage foundation, I would say, for my preferences, and for me it is. I think for people who love dewy, this is definitely like a good one for you. For me, it's like borderline too dewy. Like I had to get used to it because of my dry skin. First impression was actually like, no, I don't think I can do this foundation, but ironically now it's like my favorite. I reach for it every day. I'm going to show you two different types of powders that I finish it with, because again, for me this is so dewy, like I'm gonna finish it with a powder, which is something I don't typically do. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take this fluffy brush and show you guys this first technique where it's much lighter coverage. I'll just do like that, and then I like to kind of rub it into the brush to get it all over the bristles. Hopefully you can see okay. And that feels like almost nothing on my skin, honestly. Like, it doesn't even feel like I applied any foundation yet. And as you can see, kind of the difference that made, just canceling out these demarcations. I mean, they're still there, but as far as like a light coverage, like it definitely just blended everything. very skin-like, very light. Definitely, you know, you can still see my rosacea and stuff, and I would have some concealing to do, but like on a light foundation day, I could just be out the door, like that's enough, you know, just to kind of blend some stuff in and feel good. I'm gonna take, this is the brush I always reach for the most. It's the small, dense one I showed you. Do the same thing. Sometimes I go straight in on the face. You can do that too. I don't always do a full pump at a time. I like to build up and work my way to the amount I like and need. My redness kind of changes, so sometimes I don't need as much. So as you can see, or hopefully you can see, like the coverage, this is so much, I don't want to say thicker because that sounds uncomfortable. You can see the coverage is much heavier than the technique I previously did. And this foundation works great if you want to use your fingers. I've seen other YouTubers use it with a sponge or even a damp brush, foundation brush, so you can really use whatever you prefer. Just blend into the hairline here. Into the ears. This foundation is a pretty good match for me. Her website, her meaning Drew Barrymore, Flower Beauty is her brand, has a foundation match system where you can find your foundation by typing in other brands and the color you use, and then it'll give her her foundation in the color like that is the closest match to you, and that's what I did, and I thought that it did pretty well. I would say that this is maybe slightly too light, but the undertone I think works really well, and I don't mind too light because I can always bronze or do other things. Too dark, I feel like, okay, that's a problem. I don't know how to fix that as easily personally. So let me go ahead and get in close so you guys can kind of see. Let me turn down these lights. So hopefully you guys can see the dewy finish that this has. Like for me, it's borderline like getting greasy looking, which, you know, is the dewy thing. It's definitely like a healthy glow, but for me, again, I'm like, it's almost greasy-esque, and I had to kind of get used to it. And I definitely like to set, which as a dry skin girl, it is fun to be like, wait, I have to set. So yeah, and again, I don't have to, but just preference. Okay, so I would conceal a little bit more, but as far as what the foundation is gonna do, like I think that's really pretty. I enjoy that finish, and I get a lot of compliments on the dewiness of my skin, people asking what I use. So I'm gonna show you two powders that I enjoy using, or two options. One of them is the Flower Beauty Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. And I've had this for a while. There's a lot of product in here, and I don't find that I need very much. Again, I don't set very often because I typically have dry skin. This guy, I just put a little bit in the lid. I'm going to do half my face with this, and then I'll show you the mattifying one that I like to use with this, and it doesn't fully mattify with this foundation. It just sort of, for me, gets it toned down a little bit more to a semi-radiance. Yeah, just kind of dip it in there. You know, there's a good amount of product on there, but I don't want there to be too much extra. And you're probably not going to see a whole lot of difference. I'll try and show you a close-up of the finish. But it just kind of gets rid of that tackiness that I feel like the foundation kind of has. And this is like definitely a pearlized finish. I'll show you on my hand. It's very soft, very fine, but it definitely has like a pearly finish to it. Okay, for the other side, this is my go-to with this particular foundation, just to tone it down, again, get it down on the scale where I like dewiness to be. This is the Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder in the color Medium 02. So it's a loose powder that does have like a little bit of color to it. I love these. This is actually a really old school powder, and It's been around a long time, and I'm going to be really sad if they discontinue it. I thought that they were for a minute when they came out with the Fit Me line, but you can still find this particular product. So I put this on the little powder that it came with, and to me this has a really gorgeous blurring effect. So I always do under the eyes and around the nose. I'm kind of like a mouth sweater, especially when I have like these lights and everything on me, so I'm always like sweating here and breaking out. And I think especially like if you're having trouble with like, you know, a new product or something and you're getting like skipping, or like your bronzer isn't blurring or blending out how you want, like this over it will just poof, like blend everything. It looks so nice. It gives like an airbrushy effect. So again, this is my preferred powder to finish this particular foundation with. But the Flower Beauty one is beautiful too if you want to keep that level of radiance. Definitely more radiant on this side. And then here you still have that like natural, to me I think natural radiance, but it's not quite as dewy as this side. So really fun that you can use those finishing powders to kind of customize the level of dewiness, and I think this is a great level of dewiness to work with. It's like, to me, borderline starting to get on the like greasy, sweaty side, but take that with a grain of salt. I think I say that because I'm just so used to having dry skin that again, I'm like, whoa. If you're someone that always likes dewy everything, I think you're just really gonna enjoy this, and you might even want more dewiness, which is why I would recommend the Flower Beauty satin powder. It's really pretty. So that's it for the base, but I did have a couple of bonus products I was going to show you. One is Flower Beauty, and it is the Heatwave powder, and I just think this is a really pretty like luminous bronzer, so still staying on like the dewy theme here. And I just figured while we're here, I'll show you some products that I like to use with this foundation. And this bronzer is a really interesting finish as well because it does have like a sheen to it. It's got like a pinky tone to it, so it's almost like a bronzer and a blush. And like, again, it was another product that I wasn't sure about at first. Like I had to kind of get used to what it does because I was like, it feels too pink to be, you know, a bronzer. It feels too bronzy to be a blush. It's a little too shiny, but once I kind of just started to go with it, and especially for like no makeup days, like traveling, it's really great because you can just kind of call it done with this product, in my opinion. So it's a really, really pretty one. It gives you, definitely Heatwave is a good name for it because it gives you a little bit more of like a sun-kissed sunburn type finish opposed to like a traditional bronzer. And I definitely wouldn't call it a contour. Like I wouldn't use it for contouring. I usually use it for like a bronzer blush hybrid type situation, as you can see. And then another product I should have showed you guys, I kind of forgot, I got carried away with the powder, is this Flower Beauty Heatwave Bronzing Essence, and it's like liquid drops. This is really great too if you want to stay on the dewy side. Again, I use more powder products with this particular foundation, but if you want to stay on the dewy side or before you powder, like this is a really beautiful product too. Highly recommend this one if you like liquid bronzing. And if you don't, but you want to try something, this is a good place to start. I think you'll be happy with this. Last thing to show you, again, just for fun, to finish up the face. Because I use powders with this, I get excited because I can use my powder highlight. Usually I use cream or liquid. I love using the Juvia's Place powders for highlight, blush, and even this like really pretty, like, it looks intense one way I swatched it, but it is like a shiny blush. It's so pretty. Or I love this highlight too. This is the Heroine 2, and it's like a rose gold highlight. It's so pretty, so I think I'm gonna use this today. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply that and finish up my face, and then I will come back and show you the finished results. And then I just zhuzhed my hair and put on my husband's blazer for that like oversized kind of look today. So that's going to complete the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and me demoing this foundation. I think it's a really beautiful foundation and a great recommendation according to me for a dewy skin finish. And then hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the different setting powders and things to just manipulate that finish in any way that you enjoy. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next